Trying to connect. What's happening, guys? It's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. We have had some crazy technology issues today on my end. Happy Friday, last show of the day. Very excited to have Off Wing with us. They're going to perform. We're going to talk about how we're going to let's rock and roll, what that all means. These guys are great, coming to us from Boston. Love music, love our musical guests. So welcome, guys. How are you today?
Thanks, Ted. We're good. Good. Thanks for having us.
Good. Super excited. All right. So introduce yourselves, because we don't just want to know your off wing. We want to know a little bit about you. So tell us about you and maybe your journey to get to off wing.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually three of us, but we're missing our drummer today. So you got me. I'm Connor. I'm on the guitar and the vocal. But I'll let Matt introduce himself in a sec. But the three of us basically met. We all played hockey together in college, and so kind of brought our musical interests together then, and we just started jamming. And then upon graduation, we decided to take a shot at this, and it's been a lot of fun.
Did you grow up musical? Obviously, you said hockey. So you grew up sports.
I did. Both of my grandfathers played the piano, so I, from a young age, had an inclination towards music. Not so much the piano. I took lessons when I was like 4. wasn't fast paced enough for me at the time, but got an electric guitar, and I was like, this is just awesome. So, yeah, I've been playing the guitar for about 15 years now. Certainly love all the rock music. As well.
What was it like to shift? Because obviously you said you all met playing hockey.
Yeah.
What was it like to shift between sports and music?
For me, it was natural. Tell
us who you are, Matt.
My name's Matt. I play bass in the band. I have a little bit of a different origin story. I played in the school band. I played saxophone a little bit growing up, but never really learned guitar when I was younger. Didn't pick it up until about junior year of college, when Connor and I and a few other guys actually lived together. And Connor and our drummer, who's also named Matt, they kind of just taught me a few basic things, basic chords, and I started picking it up really, really quickly. And then about a year later, I picked up a bass and enjoyed that too. Figured out that it's a little bit easier. But I learned really quick, and it was perfectly timed because, as you mentioned, we kind of started playing together when we graduated and finished playing hockey, which I know Connor is the same. He had some injuries in college, but I played hockey for basically 18 years straight, since I was 3 years old until I was 22 years old, 21 or 22. And by the end of senior year, number one, I was out of shape and not good at hockey anymore. But number two, I was kind of lost because I was like, there's no more hockey left. There's no more competitive stuff. So I needed to find something to fill that void, and music just happened to be something that I was just getting interested in at the time. And so it kind of blended together very well, where I was able to find something else to keep myself entertained.
So do you guys write songs together? What was that like? So you come together, you got 3 separate spirits, even though you have this shared commonality with hockey and with music. Do you guys come together and write your songs together? What's that process like for you?
Yeah, we do. I think we've been out of school for a few years now too. But soon after graduating, Matt and I would sort of throw different riffs at each other. I remember all 3 of us, the first time we got together and recorded was when everybody came up here to play some outdoor pond hockey one February. And then we just went into my parents' basement and recorded some really, really rough drafts, but songs that would eventually become the first album we came out with. And so, that was a bit of a sort of lo-fi DIY project, but as we continue to progress, we'll get together and do, a lot more of the actual piece by piece songwriting, all when we're with each other, especially Matt and I.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I have to give some credit to technology too, because I live in New Jersey, so Obviously I come up here, he comes down to me. But one of the things we do is just, we can record ourselves literally on Snapchat, or just take like a voice recording or something, like, hey, how does this sound to you? Send it to each other and get a response back in 2 minutes, even though we're 200 miles away from each other. It's pretty awesome.
What part of New Jersey?
I live in Central Jersey, in a town called Westfield. Spent a lot of my time growing up at the Jersey Shore. That's kind of where my heart is, but right basically in the heart of Jersey.
I was born in Bergen County, if that tells you anything. Way up northeast.
Yeah.
I don't talk like that anymore, neither do you, so that's pretty cool. All right, so tell us about the genre of music. What kind of music would you describe Off Wing? And then, of course, I'm guessing there's some sort of hockey connection to the name of the band. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, good call. So I think the genre is pretty interesting. I grew up listening to a lot of like the CDs that my dad would have on were like Pet Sounds by Brian Wilson, the Beach Boys, a lot of like 10 from Pearl Jam. Those are really the main two. And then a lot of like the Beatles, and a ton of like Led Zeppelin and AC/DC too. So I grew up a bit influenced by predominantly like 60s and 70s stuff. Whereas I think like Matt and other Matt were into a lot of the more like 90s, 2000s stuff. And then when we kind of like meshed those together, we got this almost like we're kind of confused about what genre it was really, but I think we kind of stumbled into what is kind of like a surf rock or like a garage rock. We're kind of just playing loudly and trying to come up with some cool, funky riffs, sort of like bridging the gap between some of that older stuff and some of that newer stuff. So kind of a long-winded answer, but we're still figuring out the genre as we go.
It's loud.
Yeah.
Yes, very loud. But I like loud. So what do you do when you get together and you're thinking about creating a song? Is there something, usually somebody's had an experience or there's a mood or something's moved them? When you guys collaborate and write, where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, it's good. And real quick on the name Off Wing.
We got to talk about that for sure.
We were trying to come up with a name, and we wanted a hockey term, and Matt came up with clap bomb, and which is like slang for like a big slap shot. We figured like no girls are gonna listen to clap bomb, but
nobody. I agree. Good call.
Yeah, to play on the off wing in hockey just means to play your opposite side, basically. So if you're a righty, you're playing left wing, you are on the off wing. So anyways, we thought that was just kind of
love that
name to go with. But yeah, an ode to our hockey roots. But yeah, I mean the songwriting process, I think it's really continued to evolve too. We're doing a lot more actually in the recording studio instead of just like at each other's apartments or whatnot. I think a lot of the stuff we do, we try to keep it in the past, at least we've tried to keep it kind of light and fun. But as we continue to go on, I think a lot of the songs we're coming up with now have a bit more meaning behind them, be it like life experiences or just certain things that we're thinking about. So yeah, the songwriting process is ever changing, but with the way that we're doing things now, it's a bit more polished. And
what inspires you? Is it the world activity? Is it relationships? Is it hockey? What is it that gets you where you guys can come together and really write the song that you know is the one or one of the ones?
Yeah. Read a few songs about girls and stuff.
That's usually where it starts. I mean,
like friendships and stuff too, and overall experiences. I think we had this like concept on our first album of it's sort of like a concept album, the story of this guy, the Rover, who he's kind of looking for himself, and he goes through a bunch of different things as the album progresses, be it like like seeing different girls or just trying to come to terms with himself or whatnot. And then in the end, he kind of finds his way home from his journey. But I think, a lot of it's just sometimes light, fun experiences, sometimes more heavier relationships or just life events. But I'd say it's a wide array of where we get inspiration from.
And so what are you performing today for us?
Song we're performing today is called Black Tattoo. It's the 6th song on the album that we released in November. And yeah,
tell us about it. I'm going to take myself off. You guys get ready, but tell us about the impetus behind the song, maybe the meaning, so that people can kind of get a feel for what we're in store for.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. We actually don't have any tattoos. The tattoos, yeah. I think we're both going to get some. But anyways, yeah, it's sort of about the black tattoo is supposed to be something that didn't necessarily go right. It's supposed to be like an imperfection in the character here. And as the song progresses, he learns to accept the imperfection and accept himself for what it is. So, yeah, it's kind of an underlying meaning of the song, but that is where the inspiration came from. It's just learning to accept oneself for who they are.
I love it. All right, off wing, guys. They're going to perform.
All right.
Take myself off and mute myself, and we'll let you guys do it.
As we said, we don't have the drummer today, but we have a drum track we can cue up. Ready?
So I love it. How would you describe, first of all, I love the guitar playing. Who's playing what?
I'm playing the guitar, which is a Troy Van Leeuwen signature jazz master. He's the guitarist for Queens of the Stone Age.
Nice.
Definitely
One of my son's favorite bands.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yep.
tell him to check this out. It's the best investment I've ever.
I love it. I will tell him. He loves them.
Yeah, two 1965 classic Jazzmaster pickups. Like it's unbelievable the range of sounds you can get out of this thing. It's awesome.
I love
Highly
it.
recommend.
I'm playing bass. This is an Ibanez TMB 100. Pretty basic, relatively cheap bass. It's not my primary instrument. Not my primary choice for this instrument. I got at home kind of being worked on right now. I have an old early 1980s Fender Precision bass that I got from my uncle who used to play around Brooklyn in the 90s and early 2000s. And that thing sounds amazing. This thing sounds nice too, but most of all, it looks really
just
nice.
The colors.
They look good. Yeah, isn't that kind of part of the whole show? I mean, I know you guys want substance, but sometimes looking at how the guitars look is pretty much everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so tell us the best way for people to buy your music, download it, stream it, whatever it is that they want to do. Find out your tour schedule, learn more about you guys. What's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, I'd say predominantly Instagram is our main social media platform. That's what we pay the most attention to. It's where we announce tour dates, new releases and stuff. Our music's on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you get music. If you're hardcore fan, Bandcamp is definitely the best place to go.
Generous.
Yeah, you can get well, we are coming out with a new song in a week, and it's going to be available for free download on Bandcamp just because.
Nice.
But yeah, you can get yourself some cool music. We have some cool merch on there as well, like CDs, t-shirts, stickers. Might do some cassette tapes in the future. So Bandcamp's where all of our super fans tend to live.
I love it. All right, Off Wing, guys. Reach out, support our artists. Look, these guys have all had a crazy year. 2020 was insane for our performing artists. We want to embrace them and get our arms back around them and support their musical journey and dreams. And Off Wing, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. Come back anytime. When your new song comes out, you're welcome to come and play that for us. We'd love it. But thank you guys so much. Offwing.bandcamp.com. Or, of course, you can find them on social media, especially Instagram. All right, guys, thanks so much for performing. Have a beautiful weekend. Guys, we love you. Support our artists. These guys really do put their heart and soul into everything. And it's been a tough year. So let's help them come back around in 2021. All right, we'll see you guys later. Everybody have a great weekend.